California Governor Gavin Newsom continues to do his best to turn the state into a complete bleep hole. He just signed a new bill into law which bans teachers from suspending students from school anymore. That's right, students now from elementary school through 8th grade can no longer be suspended no matter how bad they disrupt class. The poor teachers just gotta deal with them. Why would Governor Newsom do such a thing? In the name of equality, of course. It turns out, according to the California Department of Education, that black students make up about 5% of all students, but make up 15% of all suspensions, 3 times the rate of white students.
It found that the statewide suspension rate for black males is 3.6 times greater than that of the statewide rate for all students.
So instead of encouraging that segment of the population to get their act together and raise their children properly and get a father in the home, the California schools now are just doing away with suspensions altogether so that they feel better about themselves because they're the ones always getting suspended. It's too bad more parents don't raise kids like 9-year-old Arthur Brooke, who's collecting birthday cards for a family friend who's a World War II veteran turning 100 years old. He was recently interviewed on the local San Diego News about his campaign, and when he was asked what he wants to be when he grows up, he had this to say.
Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I'm planning to be the United States president. I've got my campaign worked out. I'll give everybody a family head start by giving them a starter collection of books. History, science, encyclopedias, dictionaries, and you know what.
You know what, Arthur? You have my vote, sir. Do you know what year you plan on running?
Yes, because I won't be 35 until 2045. But then the last election will have happened in 2044. So I'm waiting till 2048 to run.
2048, Arthur. Up top. You got my vote, kiddo.
Something tells me that this kid might actually do it. Then, on the other end of the spectrum, we have parents like Beto O'Rourke, who explains here how he's raising his son.
My son Henry, who's 8 years old, when I was talking to him the other night, he asked me, Dad, if you win and you become president, we get to live in El Paso, right? And I said, no, if we win the way this works, we would live in Washington, D.C. But he knew, because I had told him about the warming that we face, that our community will be uninhabitable, will not sustain human life along this current trajectory unless something dramatically and fundamentally changes.
I don't really think it's responsible parenting to teach your kids that if daddy doesn't become the president, the world's gonna become uninhabitable, but that's just my opinion. Democrats have been warning that climate change is gonna impact every area of our lives, from our cheeseburgers to chocolate, which they say is gonna soon be extinct. But since we still don't care what they have to say, now they're claiming that it's gonna cause our pay to get decreased as well. Well, at least they're not saying that we're gonna have to become cannibals to survive, right? Oh wait, what's this? Scientist suggests eating human flesh to fight climate change. A Swedish scientist speaking at a Stockholm summit last week offered an unusual possible tactic in combating global climate change: eating human flesh. Okay, I don't think that this guy is actually serious about doing that as a proposal. I think that he's just taking the fear-mongering to the next level, trying to scare everybody into supporting carbon taxes and giving up cheeseburgers. Otherwise, we're gonna have to resort to cannibalism. Meanwhile, Beto O'Rourke is now campaigning on the platform of basically offering people free houses. We've heard the Democrat candidates offer free healthcare, free college, free money, and now apparently you get a free house.
Here's a tough thing to talk about, though we must. Rich people are going to have to allow or be forced to allow lower income people to live near them, which is what we fail to do in this country right now. We force lower income working Americans to drive 1, 2, 3 hours in either direction to get to their jobs, very often minimum wage jobs, so they're working 2 or 3 of them right now. What if, as we propose to do, we invested in housing that was closer to where you work, very often mixed income housing, meaning the very wealthiest are living next to those who are not the very wealthiest in this country.
Beto O'Rourke has a net worth of around $10 million. And I'm sure he'll be leading by example and moving to the ghettos of the south side of Chicago real soon. Or better yet, maybe Beto should move into one of these pod shares, which are renting out for $1,200 a month in San Francisco and Los Angeles. If you're paying $1,200 a month to rent a bunk bed in San Francisco, you belong in San Francisco. Subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and I'll continue to monitor the unfolding idiocracy. And if you enjoy watching my videos, click some of the links in the description below to support the channel, or head on over to my online store at markdice.com and get one of my awesome shirts, like the Liberal versus Conservative Brain shirt, the Trump Thug Life shirt, or any of my awesome designs. All available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.